This episode of Champ and the Tramp is brought to you by Bubba Coos Burritos. It is my go-to spot. I go there all the time. I bang in there on lunch sometimes when I'm working. Sometimes I pick up an order for the whole family.
Last time I went in, I got the chicken queso curly fries. Damn, hit so good. Bubba Coos, get there today.
Boom.
Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, FE. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. We're never tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the Champ and the Tramp, let the bomb blast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Champ and the Tramp. Me and my man Frankie Edgar in a basement. We should call this Two Dudes in a Basement. It should be the name of the show.
Two dudes in a basement. The camera looks a little crooked. Is it crooked?
Does look. You set the camera up, and it does look cockeyed as shit.
It's all right.
So
it's you're weighing us down. It looks like.
No, I did. Let me fix that shit. It's gonna bother me if I don't. I'm too OCD. You gotta eyeball it for me though. So it's gotta rotate this way.
Yeah. There you go. That's good. That's good. Yep. You might have went a little too much. Let me see. All right. No, that's good.
That's definitely better.
Yeah. Oh, now we're the same size. Now we're the same size.
I couldn't do that twice. Oh. What's up, everybody? We'll try this again. Welcome back to Champ and the Tramp. I'm down here with my man Frankie Edgar, as always. Two dudes in a basement, just bullshitting, getting it done.
Two dudes in a basement. That sounds a little,
Yeah, it sounds a little
wild.
You make anything sexual, but it does sound a little sexual.
Sexual?
Gay.
Yeah. It's better. So what's up, man? How was your day today?
My day was good, man. You know, my Monday to Friday is pretty much normal routine. I'm a union guy. For anybody out there that doesn't know, I pretty much have the same route.
Butter rolls in the morning?
No, I do Wawa's my stop, my jam. You know why? Part of the reason is they always have solid parking. They always have truck parking. So
yeah.
So that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Definitely. So and the other reason is I just like the food there better than anywhere else. You know,
Well,
Quick
yeah,
Check
so
has
you
picked
eat-
up their game a lot.
But that's what you eat. You eat that.
I go home pretty much every day for lunch because I work locally.
Okay.
And I usually eat clean bro for lunch. But I
Okay.
stop there in the morning and, you know, listen, I got a little more weight on me than I should right now. Got a little belly. So I kind of feel like I should – I kind of go by how I feel for the day, but I feel like I should be doing this intermittent fasting because it works really good, most people say. And I'm really not that hungry in the morning. Most of the time I eat just because I feel like I got to eat, you know?
Yeah, but
if I don't
– remember back in the day, like, oh, breakfast is the most important
right,
meal of the
yeah,
day.
remember that?
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And all the hype on
and you gotta
milk,
eat 6 times a day.
Milk will make your bones stronger. Carrots will make you see better. Like,
That might be true.
Really?
Carotene, right? Is it carotene that's in carrots?
I don't know. Is it just carotene? Is it?
I don't know. Sounds like it should be, right?
Yeah.
I know, but supposedly it's supposed to make your eyes better. Do you ever see people
That's
eat,
what my
if
mom
you
and
eat
dad
too
always
much
told me.
carrots, you turn Irish? Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
That's what my parents always told me.
Yeah. Trump, think he eats a lot of carrots?
Yeah, maybe he eats a lot of carrots.
You put down some carrots?
I mean,
Two at a time?
I
Two at a
never,
time? Three at a time?
Here we go. Bananas, zucchinis. I never ate vegetables as a kid. I couldn't stand them, but I
ate everything.
I love everything now.
Yeah,
I was
even
so
as a
picky.
kid, I ate everything. I probably didn't like vegetables that much or crave them, but I ate everything.
How'd you grow up? Middle class? Would you say?
Yeah, I'd
Middle
say.
class? Didn't struggle really for. I mean, your dad always had the plumbing business.
Well, I mean, my parents, but when my mom was married to my real father, I'd say we were middle class. He worked. He was in the union for Lucent Technologies or AT&T back in the day.
That's what your biological
but
dad did?
yeah. But
didn't know
then
that.
he was, he had a couple jobs. I mean, he worked a few jobs, so whatever that is, you know what I mean. And then they got divorced. My mom met my stepfather. Frank.
How old were you when that happened?
About 7.
7.
7.
So you have collective memory of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then when my mother met my stepfather Frank, he owned a plumbing business and he worked hard, man. He worked hard,
He definitely does. He's a grinder.
I remember him. You know, he still, even today, he's still pretty. He still has his company. You know, which he probably doesn't need to. But
same with my dad. Yeah.
He get up, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, work all day. He would work on the job, come home, eat dinner, go back to the shop to bid all night.
Wow.
You know, and he did that every day.
Bid on like
jobs, like estimate.
Yeah, like
estimate
county jobs and
he
schools.
He did a lot of schools, a lot of school work. It was commercial plumbing.
Gotcha.
You know?
Right. So where you say middle class, and I would say
middle class, working class.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely, my family was definitely working class, but I guess if you compared my family growing up in a little town in Maine to growing up here, I think the income is definitely more here, so I'd probably be considered poor here, but where I was from, I was middle class for sure.
Yeah,
my dad was struggling to build a business. My mom was a secretary, but, she got out of work early. I think she went in at, 8, got out at 2:30 to pick us up at school. Did that my entire childhood that I can remember. And then, she'd go home, cook dinner. My dad would work late to try to build. He owned a, heating company. I almost said heating and air, but they don't really do much air in Maine. So fuel oil heating company, and he was struggling to build it. He took it over from his father. My grandfather started out as what they call a Gulf jobber, which means that he basically like leased a truck from Gulf. And he went out on his own in, I think, 1955. I think I have that right. And bought one of their trucks and ran it out of the garage of their house, my grandparents' house. My grandmother was the secretary, and that's how Matthews Oil Company started, And then when my dad took it over, it was still only one truck, maybe 2 trucks. But he bought an office building downtown and built it. And in its heyday, I think there was like 40 employees. So it was pretty, pretty busy company, I guess, for that small of an area. But when I was a little kid, he was building it, so he'd be the guy out if there was a furnace out. Maine winters are brutal.
Oh, yeah.
So if there would be a furnace out at somebody's house, he'd be out all hours of the night because you can't let it freeze up.
Right.
The whole house freezes up, and that's... So my dad worked a lot, but always a hard worker. And but for that area, again, to get back to my point, I would say I grew up middle class. But I do remember this. I don't know why this sticks out in my head. The house that I grew up in, that I lived in from, when I was born to 8th grade. We moved to Cherryfield in 8th grade, but I grew up in Harrington, Maine on Mill Street, and my father paid $20,000 for the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
$20,000 for the house. Can you imagine?
That's crazy.
And I thought it was a nice house, but, it needed...
But I wonder what it was relative to today. I mean,
and his buddy hand-dug. It didn't have a foundation. They hand-dug the foundation for that house. Crazy, right? Like jacked it up,
but I bet you $20,000. I'm sure my parents, when they bought, like we originally lived up north in North Jersey. My parents said I was born up there, lived there probably close. I think I moved when I was 2 or 3. Right. My parents actually owned a pizzeria with my uncle.
Okay.
Roseland Pizzeria. I think it's still there.
Okay.
And they decided to sell it, and my dad got a job with AT&T at the time.
Okay.
And they moved down here. But yeah,
down here, Tom's River.
Tom's River, yeah.
Okay.
And the reason we moved down here is because I remember. I don't know if I remember. You see pictures, and it makes you remember stuff. But we used to vacation at Lavalette all the time. They'd rent the house for like a week every summer.
You know the money they get for houses over there now?
Bro, crazy.
Sick, my buddy.
But bro, when they moved down in the 80s, like probably 83 or something like that, 84 maybe. I think Tom's River was like the fastest growing town in America.
It's big. Tom's River's big. A lot of people don't realize it. What's the population? 120?
Nah, about 100.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about 100.
Huh.
And then, yeah, but my real father, he had a lot of jobs throughout his life, I guess.
So Tom's River, again, I'm not going to argue with you. You're probably right. I thought it was over 100, but if it's 100, Tom's River is 100 times bigger than my town I grew up in because it was 1,000 people. And I think there's still, it's really, Maine is what they call a no growth state. They don't encourage growth and development. They want to keep it pristine and they want to keep it, beautiful. A lot of people have like land trusts where they keep.
New Jersey is for the 3rd year in a row. More people move out of New Jersey than any other state.
Oh, I totally. Why do you think that is?
Yeah. Wow.
Fucking taxes, corruption, everything else that goes on in this state.
There's bozo. Saw that video.
I did, man. Talking about James O'Keefe and
what, Veritas
Project. Yeah, man.
What are they? They investigative journalists? Is that what they are? Because they're always spying on people. It seems like, right?
That's what I would call them. Obviously, they operate on the conservative side, so but it's when you to call it bias, it's tough because you're watching raw stuff. Now, that's not to say that you can't take videos and edit and cut and clip like that, but it was pretty blatant what the woman said.
Yeah, well,
he's waiting
I just
until
think
after the election to mandate vaccines.
Yeah, it's very shady. You know what I mean?
It's shady, yeah.
You're running on a certain agenda or a certain principle that you're gonna pretty much turn and do something different once you get elected. That's not honest.
Well, no, not even on a principle, because he's not saying right now that he's not going to do it, but he's not saying that he is. He's kind of leaving people in limbo until he gets into that position of power, and then he's gonna probably implement it.
Well, according to them, he's definitely
right. But is that fair to your base? Is that fair to your voters?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say so. I mean,
if you're being fair and honest, wouldn't you announce it before the election?
Yeah, I mean, especially if that's a strategy of yours,
right?
Not announcing, because if you do announce it, it will deter voters to not vote for you. So to me, that's not honesty.
Swing voters. I mean, I think there's the hardcore people on that side of the aisle that are going to vote for him no matter what. He certainly has those, but the swing voters and the independents. Yeah, that would make a huge difference. Huge.
Did you know, which I didn't know, in 2017, only 61% of New Jerseyans did not even vote.
I totally believe that. I think that number is probably up there for most states. It really is.
It's always like that.
Well, think about it. Did you ever? I never did. I was ingrained in me to vote. But vote for the presidency.
Yeah.
So every
Honestly,
4 years,
you're right.
Did you vote in local elections?
Never.
I never started getting into it until probably the last 4 or 5 years. Really paying attention, voting.
So did you vote in 2017?
Yes.
Who did you vote for?
2017, I voted for...
It was the lieutenant governor, I think, Guardella or some lady. I forget, Italian last name. I forget it.
And yeah, honestly, maybe I didn't vote in 2017.
Yeah, I know I didn't.
I probably didn't, actually. Yeah, I guess maybe I didn't.
But that definitely might change some things for a lot of people.
I'm trying to think there was a local election. Oh, the school board superintendent. He's running again, actually. I voted for him last time.
Nardini?
Nardini.
Mm-hmm.
He's running again. I voted for him last time.
Yeah, honestly, I've been to these school board meetings. It doesn't matter who's there because they can't do anything.
Well, now I have a buddy. Won't mention any names. He's a little bit of a bit of a conspiracy theory. I sent you a few of his texts, but his platform that he stands on with his son, who's in school, who's in first, second grade, and his interest in the school board and just wanting to be heard, I back him on that. I think he has every right to. He's saying now you have to call in. They don't allow you there in person for school board meetings now.
Really?
Yeah.
He
went to the last one in Toms River and called me from it and said they won't let me in. They're making us call in.
Wow. I didn't know. I went to a couple.
Right.
I went to a couple.
Yeah. Did you go to the last one?
Not the most
I sent you the link to it, the most recent one. He went to that one.
Okay, yeah.
And they weren't allowed in.
Wow.
The public wasn't allowed in.
That's kind of crazy, man. I seen something where keep parents out of the classroom. Whoa. What do you mean? It's my fucking kid, bro. I want to know what's going on in that classroom.
It's crazy. I think for many, many years, people didn't pay attention. They just believed that the right thing was being done.
Yeah.
And then this gets this massive spotlight shined on it because of COVID and because of masks and because people started paying attention and going to school board meetings. And then you see all this, the critical race theory and the sexuality and the books that
you see Condoleezza Rice, spoke out against critical race theory.
Yeah, she was on, what was that, on The View or something she was on?
I think it was The View, yeah. And then I seen something, she's a black face for white supremacy.
Oh, God.
What?
They say that about Candace Owens all the time, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's
mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
Like your mind in a bottle.
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, for some reason I love this state. I don't know why. For some reason I do, but I want the best for it. I want the best for my children. I want the best for the state. You got to make solid money to live in Jersey. It's got to be one of the most. What did you say? Didn't I hear you say it's the second most expensive state to live in, or something like that?
That I don't know, but yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, it's got to be up there. It has to be up there.
Or the tax rate is the second highest tax rate, or something.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
Regardless, it's a tough state to live in, man. You gotta grind. You gotta hustle to live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
yeah. And I
And
love
what-
it here. I do. I think we have, and I'm obviously a big advocate of Tom's River. I always pump
Right.
Tom's River on all my fights and whatnot. I lived in I lived in college for 5 years. I lived in Pennsylvania. I barely came home because I was wrestling, and I missed home, man. I missed it. And I was like, I'll never leave Jersey.
Yeah.
But now I don't know. I don't know if what the future will hold here.
Same.
But dude, it's great. We got the beach. We got New York City. You have Philadelphia. You have Atlantic City. You have skiing. If
Everything's
you want.
an hour away.
Yeah,
everything.
it really is.
Literally everything.
They got the food is amazing.
But do
it's
you
amazing.
feel? Do you feel
Pizza,
like?
bagels,
Yeah.
pork roll.
Do you feel like all those things you just listed, which New York would always be the first on the list, I've kind of just crossed it off my list now,
Yeah.
bro. I don't even want to go to New York.
No, I'll let you know. I'll be there all next week.
Yeah.
I'll be there all next week. So.
New York City, I should say.
Yeah.
I go to Lake George every year. I go to the
Yeah.
Sticks, but I have no interest in going in the city anymore. None.
But when you went to Lake George, it seemed normal this year.
Last year was
This
very
past-
strict. Very strict.
No,
This year,
past one, yeah.
nothing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
No.
yeah.
Here's the crazy part, right? So we went last year, and we're friends with the club owner. Shout out to DJ's Club up there. We love you guys, Deb. And they're so cool to us. They treat us so good up there. But they had inspectors come in, and they had actually got cited because people were like standing up, not dancing or anything like that, but standing without a mask on. You had to be seated or walking to the bathroom with a mask on. That was what you were allowed to do. And someone, like an inspector, came in and cited her. So she was nervous when we were there. You know what I mean? And we of course didn't disrespect anything. But that was last year. Went this year, it was totally normal. But last year we wanted to go check out Lake Placid because it was in Olympic City. I heard it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah, I think it's maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hour ride, something like that on bikes. We were all on bikes. We took like the scenic route all the way up there. And we get into Lake Placid. We get into town, and it's a extremely liberal town. They had signs.
How do you know a town's liberal, though? What would you say? What would make
because
you
they
say?
had massive signs all over the sidewalk, everywhere. These huge like cutouts of, it was a person, but it was like a wooden cutout. It was all painted up, and it said, "Welcome to Lake Placid. Please enjoy our beautiful scenery and our streets or whatever. Must wear a mask at all times, even when outdoor."
Oh, that's fucking crazy. Did you wear
Even
it?
when
Did you
outdoor?
wear it?
Fuck no, bro. None of us did.
Were a lot of people not wearing it
No.
outside?
90% were wearing it.
Wow.
90%.
Wow. We're supposed to go there.
There was
We're supposed to go there
probably-
this winter.
There was
for skiing.
probably 8 of us, maybe 9 of us. None of us were. We're all big dudes, all tatted. Nobody said shit. But,
Yeah.
like I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to leave.
Yeah. That's not cool.
Outside, I could see it if you went into an establishment and the establishment said,
I'm done with that
you
too,
know,
man.
yeah, fuck that. I was not wearing one, and nobody, if anybody had said something, I don't know. I don't know if I'd have barked back or I just ignored them or what, but cops were driving by us. Nobody said anything.
But
You know?
maybe it's just people want to live that way.
And here's something a little odd, and I won't say any names. I'm certainly not trying to get anybody in trouble, but last week I had a DOT physical. I have to go every year for a DOT physical. And it was in this certain building that a lot of medical, different type of medical operations are in. And I went in. I've been in there a bunch of times. The last time I went in, a year ago, you weren't allowed. You had to buzz in. A nurse had to come out, take your temp, had to have a mask on to enter the building.
I can almost see it in a medical setting.
Right. And again, I was respectful. I did it. But I went there this year, last week. I walked in the building. I didn't see anybody wear a mask or anything. I wasn't really paying attention. I honestly kind of forgot about it.
This is where, in Jersey?
In Jersey. Yeah, right here in Tom's River.
Oh, all right.
So I walk in, I get in the elevator, I go up to the second floor, I walk in, no mask, nurse behind the counter has no mask, I'm like, oh, fucking,
Normal, yeah.
normal, good, great, awesome, that's what I like, normal, So I was in there probably an hour, did my physical, the whole 9 yards, never wore a mask the whole time.
Just turn your head and cough?
No, actually, I don't know why they don't do that anymore, I don't know.
You're disappointed.
Maybe he doesn't like my junk.
You're
but,
disappointed.
yeah. So,
You like
and I
those
left,
cold hands?
I left, all good. So today I had a cardiologist, 6-month cardiologist appointment because I got high blood pressure, right? So I had to go see my cardiologist. Same building, 3rd floor. I go in, signs everywhere. Well, I get up to the 3rd, and I didn't bring a mask with me, but there's signs everywhere. So I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have them. They're going to say something. They're definitely going to say something, right? But I go up to the desk. The lady's like, hey, Roger, how are you?
Was she wearing one?
Yeah. And
Well, maybe that's like a...
I gave her... And there was people
Yeah, there could
sitting.
be- maybe
there was
there's
people
sick
sitting.
people in there.
Right, and I felt like shit. I should have brought one with me. I'm not like, I don't intentionally try to cause a problem. I just, The first time I went in the place to get my physical last week, I forgot. And I went in, and they didn't ask me to wear one, and people were in there not wearing one. All the people that were coming through the door weren't wearing one. This time, I was like, same building, probably won't be an issue. I go in, I see signs. There's a couple people sitting in the waiting room, and in my head, I'm like, fuck, do I want to walk I'm on the 3rd floor. Do I want to walk all the way back to my car and get a mask? So in my head, I was like, I will if they say something. I'll just say, I just got to run out to my car, or maybe they'll offer me one, right? So, nothing. She takes my copay, doesn't say anything. So I'm like, all right, cool, good. Nobody's saying shit. All right, I'm good. So they call me in. I walk back. I pass probably 5 nurses on the way in. This one nurse brings me in, takes my blood pressure, weight, all this. She's wearing a mask. So, and we were just having casual conversation. I said, hey, let me ask you something. Am I supposed to be wearing a mask in here? Because I don't know. She's like, listen, doesn't bother me. I don't care. But how'd you get past the girl at the front? She's like a mask Nazi with that. I said, she never said a word. I said, listen, do you want me to go out to my car and get one? I will. Like, I will, like, I'm not. And she's like, oh, to me, I could care less. Do you want me just to go grab you one? And I said, sure. I'll put it on if someone says something. She went grabbing one, gave it to me. Nobody said a word. My doctor came in, who I know, never said anything about it. Took all my vitals, was very close to me, never said anything. So, would I put it on if somebody asked me to? Sure. But, it's crazy that you can be on the 2nd floor, not need it, 3rd floor, you need it.
Yeah, I mean, none of this made sense from the beginning, None of it.
True, but here's something. So I have high blood pressure, right?
We got to do something. There's definitely ways to fight that high blood pressure without medicine.
There is.
There has to be.
There is. And she just upped my meds today, which annoyed me because
you got to look into that.
I've been fighting. I shouldn't say up it. She wanted to up the milligram, and then she said, "Well, but
why,
let me here's why. Let me get into this a little bit. So I know that I have high blood pressure. I bought a home, blood pressure gauge, the whole 9 yards, and she's like, I was there 6 months ago. She's like, monitor it for a month. Take your blood pressure, same time every day, usually in the morning or it's lower. Monitor I took it like 5 days in a row, and it was high every fucking day. And I'm like, so I just stopped taking it. I'm like, this fucking thing's broken. It doesn't work. It was always like close to 150 over maybe like 120 over. Yeah, it was like 150 over 96 or something. It was high. You know what I mean? And that's on blood pressure medicine. So I'm like, this fucking thing's broken. It doesn't work. So last week, I go for the physical that I'm talking about before my cardiologist that I went to today. I walk in, they take it. Nurse takes it when I walk in, and didn't say anything. Wrote a number down, but didn't say anything. So I'm like, I'm good, He does it, you got to go pee in a cup and the whole 9 yards. They do the thing. And then the doctor comes in to do the actual exam. He said, well, your blood pressure was a little high this morning. Did you take your blood pressure medicine? And I said, no, I usually take it in the evening. I usually take it when I get home from work. He's like, well, let me take it again. Took it again. It was perfect. And that was 5, maybe tops 10 minutes after the other guy had taken it.
But I want to know.
How crazy is that?
Why? What if blood pressure is just... You're fucking 6'4".
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of blood pressure.
Right.
Right?
There's a lot of things that don't make sense. Like body mass index does not make any sense now. They say it was evolved in like the 20s when people were much shorter, and you know what I mean? Like, body mass index, like I'm considered overweight, if they do my, my neck measurement and all that shit they do, I'm considered overweight. I'm like a candidate for sleep apnea study, you know what I mean? So, but I'm not overweight, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm a little heavier than I want to be, but I don't have a big neck. I have like a giraffe neck, like 17 and a half.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
I'm like 16 and a half.
That's not a big neck for a dude my size, So anyway, back to my point about the blood pressure. Perfect. It was 120 over 84 or something when he took it. 10 minutes after the other guy took it. So today, I walk into, and I'm talking to that girl, the girl about the mask and stuff. She takes my blood pressure. I said to her, probably going to be a little high. I usually take my blood pressure medicine at night. I should have taken it this morning or whatever. She's like, yeah, let's just see what it is. She took it. She goes, actually, it was perfect.
So then why does she want to up you?
So, no, but listen. This is the part that makes no sense, man. It's just like my daughter with the COVID test. Shit makes no sense. I can't make heads or tails of it. So she's like, yeah, it's weird, we'll take it in a couple minutes. We'll take it. So she, she whatever, checks my weight, does a couple other things. I sit back down. She's like, let's check it again. Let's just make sure. And I always make sure that I have a big arm. So I always make sure, use the big cuff. Because if you use the little cuff, it definitely makes a difference.
Dude, that's what I feel. I feel like people...
Makes your blood pressure higher. If you use the little cuff, my blood pressure is
the thing always wants to rip off all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have big arms, but
there's only 2 size cuffs. You know what I mean? And I always say use the bigger cuff. So and she took it again. A couple minutes later, she's like, nope. Spot on, perfect. So I'm like, okay, awesome. So my home thing is definitely fucking off then. It's definitely not working. Junk that thing. The cuff must be too small. Then my actual cardiologist doctor comes in, right? She's like, I saw your blood pressure's perfect. That's amazing. No need to up your med. Let me just take it. She takes it. She's like, no, it's high. It was like 154.
Yeah, but are you nervous at that point?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But how can my blood pressure fluctuate so much? And there is something called lab coat syndrome or whatever, where you get nervous. And maybe that has a little, but how could it be that inconsistent so many times? Where 5 minutes later, it's spot on. This time, it was spot on when I got there. Then 5 minutes later, it was high.
How do you feel, though? Like, what high blood pressure leads to heart attacks?
I always say because I'm always red. I always thought that was because of high blood pressure. But I mean, the day my blood pressure was perfect at my physical, I'm still red, so it can't be. Today, it was perfect twice, and then it was high twice, all within 5 minutes of each other. So I don't know. Bro. Mm-hmm. Somebody else referred to it as situational high blood pressure. Like, depends on the setting you're in, your blood pressure can spike, and if you're nervous,
that makes sense though. I mean,
anxiety, which I definitely have. I definitely have anxiety.
What's your resting heart rate?
I don't know. You told me to do it one time with the app you got, and it was high.
Yeah,
you're in the 50s or something, right?
Yeah,
definitely not. I don't. But I never take it. You take it a lot, so I'm definitely higher than that.
I used to take it with the Whoop, and like at nighttime it would get down to like 38.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So, yeah, I don't understand it. I shouldn't have said she upped I'm on, I think it's called Orazepam, 300 milligrams. I was on 150 milligrams for the longest time. Then she upped it to 300 last time, and that's the highest they go. So she said.
Be good, dude.
I know. I agree, bro. But then she said to me, well, we can't go any higher, so I'm going to add this thing to it. She said the name of it. I don't remember the name of it. And I said, what does it do? She gave kind of a half-ass explanation. But it's supposed to obviously regulate my blood pressure better.
She's got free lunch.
Yeah, I know. That's what I feel like, and I make it very clear. I'm like, listen, ma'am, I don't. But her take on it is, I gave you 6 months to see if you can get it down, and my response is, it was fucking perfect when I walked through the door. It was perfect twice. Does your nurse not know it? And obviously the nurses are trained on that. That's what they do all day.
Yeah.
It had to be perfect because it was twice in a row. So I can't make heads or tails of it. If it's situational blood pressure or whatever, high blood pressure, whatever they call it, or mine can change dramatically in 5 minutes. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I kind of got high blood pressure sometimes, but I definitely get nervous. To me, you strike me as the fucking cool, calm. I mean, I think, obviously you smoke a little weed here and there. I think that probably balances you or keeps you calm down. I wish I could do that. God damn, I wish I could smoke weed. I think it would help me out tremendously, but I get drug tested all the time, so I can't. But you just strike me as so cool and cool-headed. Where do you get stressed out? No,
kids maybe?
Oh, fuck, kids. I mean, yeah, my wife. No.
Road rage.
Nah, everyone has stress. I mean,
everybody does.
But it's not real stress.
It's how you wear it.
Real stress.
One of the calmest people I've ever seen is Renee. I remember one time, I don't know, I think it was your oldest, Francesco or whatever, was giving her a hard time about something, and they were getting into it, and he was raising his voice or whatever. And I remember her saying to them, you're not getting me excited. You're not raising my blood pressure.
Look at my fucking blood pressure go to the roof.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, that's pretty good.
But like, I mean, I like the teapot, like my shit goes off. I don't hold that shit in.
Right. Right. Yeah. Boils over quickly.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting much better with that. Used to, I mean, I say that if somebody flipped me off at a fucking light, I'd be out of the car in 2 seconds. But in my personal life, I think that I'm definitely with my children. I've never spanked my kids. I've never, I'm not going to say I've never yelled at my kids or raised my voice. I certainly have, but I keep it together pretty good. And kids can piss you off like nobody can,
Bro, I'm dieting. I'm not burning right now. Fucking
miserable.
Gonna be locked in a cage in a week and a half. I'm definitely not the most friendly guy to be around.
Yeah, true.
My kids drive me nuts right now.
True. Yeah.
At times. But you learn how to roll with it.
Yep.
It's the best thing to do.
Yeah. So why do you think you have high blood pressure, though? Do you ever take it?
No, I mean,
I should have brought my gauge thing and put it on you.
I don't think I do, bro. I don't think I do. Because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I swear, I think it's because I'm in there and I'm just a competitive ass person. I want to have a good number.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not always good.
Really. How, switching gears here, going into something different, only because I've heard this a few times about myself over the years. How does a human being get diagnosed as being bipolar? How does that happen? Is there a study? Is there a test?
Okay, bipolar. I'm just saying. To me,
I don't think that I'm bipolar, but
I think everybody's bipolar.
I think everybody's a little bipolar,
right?
Yeah.
But I will say this: there are like bipolar, like manic, right? Manic depressant is pretty much the same thing as bipolar, right? It's just a different name for it.
My mother battled that when I was a teenager, and I think it is hereditary. But
now, you ever see someone in a manic episode?
Yes.
Like that's like I've never been like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've never been like that.
No.
So that's like the severity of it.
Right.
But then there's a little bipolar. Like there's days where I'm in a funk and I'm like, for no reason whatsoever. If I miss a workout sometimes. If I miss a workout, I'll definitely be in a funk. Yeah.
So
if I don't work out in the morning, I'm in a funk.
What is your behavior pattern that?
No, I'm just like hum bum. You know what I mean?
Right,
Just like
that's
like,
what I am.
Like it's a gloomy day and it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
It never lasts. It's never. You know what I mean?
Same.
And
a lot of people say it's just because you're a Gemini, and I don't know how much I believe in that zodiac thing, but
I don't believe in that.
But I've heard that term thrown around a few times. I'm like, go take a fucking bipolar test. How do you do it? What is there to it?
That I think has to, like a shrink has to tell you that, right? I don't think there's a.
But I would never want to be on medicine, even if they were like, yeah, bro, it's fucking bad news. You're bipolar. I don't want to be on medicine. I don't even want to be on blood pressure medicine. I just don't want to die on my kids.
I am on medicine.
Yeah. Well, true. And I wish I could be on that medicine, bro. I wish I could. I think it would help me tremendously. But I really don't believe that I'm bipolar at all. But I have a tendency to, when I'm in a funk and in a mood, I wouldn't say depressed, but just in one of my moods, because life gets to me, probably more than most sometimes. I just push people away. I just want to be alone. I want to be left alone. I want to not be bothered. I one-word answer people. That's how I get.
Yeah, I don't know. I like being around people. I think
my girl will be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, how are you fucking one-word answer everything? Like, what's?" And that just makes it worse. I'm like, "Well, go home then if you don't want to be around me." And that's the worst thing you can say.
Well, like fight week, right? Like fight week's a very, very stressful time. It's it's just. You're fucking getting locked in a cage. You just train so hard to obtain a goal and achieve something and hopefully move up the rankings and usually money's on the line. It's a fucking stressful situation. Sure. And some people, they want to be locked in a room with themselves. Me, I want people around me.
Really?
I want people around me bullshitting, cutting on me, joking around.
Right.
that's what I like.
Keeps your mind off the.
It just
doesn't let you.
Doesn't let me focus too much into that zone.
Right.
Yeah.
I would imagine, for some people, everybody's programmed different, man, and I'm sure that works for some people. But, I would imagine for you, it doesn't let you get into that state of overthinking things and getting nervous and things like that. You know who strikes me as the opposite of that, and I can't remember, I think his name is Yuri something. He fought, he's kicking ass. He's a Russian.
Oh, he's not Russian, but Ukrainian? It's Ukrainian? I think he's Ukrainian. Yeah,
I forget. But he had his last fight.
With the long, like the
that dude. What's his name? That dude is a bad motherfucker. I know you're talking about. I think he's got a title shot, doesn't he?
No. He because Jan's
the winner of Glover.
He may get the winner. Yeah, he may. You're right.
I think he was promised the winner, but that dude strikes me as he wants to be locked in a fucking cell.
I don't know. He seems like a silly guy, though. He seems like a silly guy.
It seems like he takes the fight game. I know what you're gonna say. Doesn't everybody? He just comes at it a little differently. He seems like a loner. He seems like
why do you say that?
Just because I watched whatever they call it,
the countdown.
The countdown thing with him.
I haven't seen much of that.
He's a unique dude.
To me, it seems like
an
eccentric dude.
Yeah,
but to me, he seems like
it's almost monk-like.
Yeah. But I see him doing different stuff. He seems like a happy guy to me.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. A grateful guy, happy guy, not an angry guy, but a guy that just wants no distractions, none.
You know, I don't know. I've seen something about like to pursue something. You know what I mean? Like a goal, whatever it be, in a sport or something. Like you have to have like I always associate to like cutting weight in college. I always did it alone.
Yeah.
And like those moments where I'm alone. And even now, like sometimes I'll train with everybody, but at 20, I do my 20-minute little fat burn thing I do, and I'm kind of alone on the bike. Just like those moments are important to me.
Sure,
you
get inside your own head.
Yeah, get inside your own head. You kind of fucking block out everything, and it's like you're giving yourself to it.
There's a saying,
you know what I mean?
and I don't remember what it is, but it's something along the lines of, if you can spend an extended period of time alone by yourself, destitute and desolate, then you're very comfortable with who you are as a person. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, that's why like I said, I've been trying to do better with the phone, which I've been pretty good, man. I've been definitely keeping my hours down on the phone and whatnot. And like just like something it sounds stupid. Something as simple as I don't take my phone into the bathroom with me.
Really?
Yeah, I try not to do what I'm taking, going to the bathroom.
Right.
Because sometimes you go to the bathroom, I'll sit and you're sitting, you'll
sit
fucking
there,
be in for like a half hour.
I do that.
Like, you have to be
What's
in your
the
head.
first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing you do?
I do not go on my phone anymore.
Really?
Nope.
I'm impressed.
I stopped that.
How long has it been?
What do you mean?
How long have you not been doing that?
Ever since we started, 3 months?
Okay.
2 months.
All right.
2 months.
All
probably.
right. So, that's
2 months.
That's enough to say you've been doing it. Yeah, for sure.
Like I'll leave it on. I'll get up. I'll go to the bathroom. I'll get my stuff together. Then I'll finally get the phone. And honestly, I don't even like looking at it because I want to keep my. I'm a very all or nothing. I'm an all or nothing guy. All right.
You are.
And I'm very competitive, and I'm competing with myself. No one fucking looks at my hours to see how much I do. I'm competing with myself.
Right.
It's like almost to the point where like someone will send me a video, and I'm like, I ain't gonna fucking look at it. You know what I mean?
Do you know how I know that you're telling the 100% truth? Because you don't respond to shit, bro.
No,
I'll
bad with
text you
group
like, yo, bro, we good for 8 o'clock tonight? And like,
no, single text I'm
yeah,
good.
you're not bad.
Group text I'm not good.
Never, bro.
Group text I'm not good.
I almost feel bad for some of the people like fucking that are texting us that want to respond to you because they'll side text me. Yo, bro, you think you can ask Frankie? Like,
I'm just not. I'm not like. I mean, fuck group text. Text me personally. I'll get back to you. Group text. I'm not big.
Speaking of group text, pal, we might get our feet wet in the movie business.
Yes, I know.
We can't say anything about it. Obviously, it's up and coming. But
you're on bottom now.
I'm big. You're Nas.
Yeah.
So there's well, I mean, I wasn't going to say the possibility. We signed up for it. I haven't actually signed the contract yet. But,
we're in the process of doing that.
But we're going to be
a small role.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Nothing big,
stuff,
but kind of cool, kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever done any acting?
Never.
None.
Did a commercial. That's it.
Yeah, well,
did
that's acting.
couple commercials.
What,
remember?
the
I
dance
Just
pro
Dance
or
4. I
whatever?
did. Yeah, it was horrible. That was a whole day.
But you said the
shoot.
dance. No speaking.
No, well, I mean like a little line, and then I did another one for Sonic Burger. Did another commercial.
Speaking or anything?
Very few lines. Very very minimal. But
I
they were
did a
easy.
commercial once for UFC.
Yeah, you were saying, yeah.
And that was crazy.
Wait,
bro.
is that the one with the tiger?
Yeah. And that was crazy. When I got on set.
Wait, you did something else, right? There was something. You were at a fight. You were cornering.
No, I did kickboxer. I was in kickboxer.
Yeah.
I was in that movie. So those are the only two. But I had lines in both of them, which is fucking crazy. Because I remember the girl who played my wife. She's like, have you done this before? I'm like, no. She's like, and you have lines? Oh my god! I'm like,
did that make you nervous?
No,
that would have made me nervous. That's where I would have got anxiety. My blood pressure.
There was 100 people on set, trailers and shit. I'm getting makeup done.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, it was crazy. It was cool, but it was cool. I thought I did okay. A commercial came out all right. I had
awesome.
Several lines.
Can I find that on like YouTube?
I'm sure.
What is it?
I mean, UFC on Fox.
On Fox.
UFC on Fox. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I gotta check that out. Yeah, I think Andrew looked up my 2 commercials that I did and got a good laugh out of it. I had to dance. I told this story before, so I'll keep it short. But I had to dance with 2 professional fucking dancers and my ex, who's a girl, has rhythm, can dance, and I had to dance in unison with them, and it was I remember. I think I started out in the front, and they were like, let's just move him to the back. I'm not gifted with
dancing?
The dance skills.
Yeah, I mean, I could dance, but I don't know if I could dance like choreography dance.
Right. No, I can listen.
I'm not saying I can dance.
You could be on the dance floor and look like a fucking idiot. I wouldn't look like an idiot because I have like rhythm. Like I can stay with the beat, but I can't dance.
But
I can't dance at all.
I'm not a guy that dances by himself.
No,
I want to dance with my wife. If my wife, I'm good. Then we got we got a couple moves we do and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We pull it off. That's about it.
Back in my ecstasy days, my 20s, you could find me on the dance floor by myself. Yeah,
Raven and shit.
Because I was in my own little world. I thought I was out there with 100 people. The fucking fog machine would go down. The lights would come on. I'd be like, oh shit, just me and Kyle out here.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this could be the start of.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, I'm not taking it too serious, but the opportunity presented itself. Really nice guy, friend of ours, who's a great actor, by the way, in some big stuff. We're not going to say who it is. And he approached us, and we kind of batted it back and forth. I was a little like, geez, I don't know, I'll probably look like an idiot. And then I was like, fuck it, you know.
But I think it's a role that we could do.
Right, yeah, for sure.
It's not no romantic comedy.
Yeah, no. I think it's fitting for us.
Although I think I could see you in a romantic comedy.
No, I think I would be a god-awful actor. I'd get too nervous.
I don't know. Honestly, in this thing, I mean, it was kind of. I was playing myself, so it was kind of fucking easy, you know.
Right.
But I had to act like there was a tiger there and stuff.
Green screen.
I had to act like my wife. I'm like, there was a tiger that.
Did Renee fucking critique this thing?
Oh, of course. We were in an amusement park.
Was the girl cute?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Renee would have been a better stand-in, you know. Yeah, we were like in an amusement park, and we're walking through and
holding hands.
Oh, dude, she was pissed, bro.
Oh,
and,
shit.
And like I'm like, just a typical day as with my blah blah. And I'm like, and I have to look over and see a tiger. Oh, hang on, I had to go take care of it. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of acting, but I choked it out. But there was actually, bro, there's a real two real tigers on set.
No shit.
I mean, I didn't choke the fucking real tiger. It was like a fake thing, like a stuffed animal.
Was it the dude, not Tiger King dude, but that other dude that was part of the Tiger King movie that, like, that's all he does is takes his tigers to movie sets and shit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was that guy.
Doc something? I forget his name.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
Was he the guy on set? Because that's pretty much all.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And I remember, listen, this was an amusement park that was, part of it was closed off. So the other half was still open. Kids running around. I'm like, you got a fucking tiger on a chain leash. If this tiger wants to rip out of this guy's hand, what's gonna stop him?
Right.
Oh man! And remember when the tiger was out, I'm like, I went in the store. I'm not cool with shit like that, bro.
That's one of those things that could be headlines. But you remember the tiger lady from Jackson? A bunch of her tigers got out.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it on the radio. Like if you're on I-95, and I used to drive that route all the time for work. I used to go out to Trenton and load at Duck Island. And I remember hearing it on the radio. Like them talking about tigers being spotted on the side of I-95 and shit.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
They're gone now, right?
Yeah, she lost a battle. She had a huge court case. Her husband was a set, he was a union guy, worked in the city on sets, on movie sets and things like that. I used to do but on his ride home from the city every day, he would drive in, and on his ride home he'd pick up dead deer on the side of the road, and that's what they would feed the tigers with.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
But the tigers were living in pretty horrible conditions, and they had a lot of them. I think they started out with again, I'm going to butcher this story, and there's going to be locals that be like, you're an idiot. But I think she started out legally owning a few, and then it got up to be like a lot bigger than what
breeding. They bred them. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about breeding them or just taking more in or what the case. I'm sure some were breeding, yeah, but it just got more than they could handle, and they were living in pretty squalid conditions.
Wow. Did you know
she had a big battle though? She wanted them. They wanted to keep them. Yeah. But then after some got out, and I guess Humane Society came in. No, they lost it. They eventually lost it.
No, but I mean, like when the tigers got out, did like fucking
nobody was attacked or anything. I'm sure.
Well,
they were probably
like
euthanized.
A dog or something like that.
No, I don't think anything got attacked. They were.
Did you know there are more tigers in captivity in Texas than there are in the rest of the world?
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking
crazy.
Wild.
It's crazy, man. As a kid. For me anyway, I don't know how you grew up, what your story is. You're so excited to go. I went to SeaWorld as a kid. I went to zoos as a kid. I went to a whole bunch of zoos. I went to the Bronx Zoo when I was a kid. And you're so excited to see. I don't want to take my kids. Listen, I will take my kids to Popcorn Park because it's a sanctuary.
Yeah.
They bring in injured, hurt animals that aren't going to make it in the wild. But I wouldn't take my kids to SeaWorld.
What about Six Flags?
I have brought them to Six Flags, and honestly, I feel guilty about it.
Yeah,
I do. I feel pretty bad about it.
Back in the day, remember you could take your own car?
Yeah.
And the monkeys would go in your car, rip the antennas off and shit?
Well, you still take your own car, but I think now it's like...
now you take your own car because of COVID, but since before that...
Oh, right. It was like 6x6s, army trucks. You're right. Yeah.
But then there's no more monkeys anymore.
Well, they're baboons.
Baboons.
There are, but I think there's like a net.
But they were
netting,
literally
yeah.
on top of your fucking car.
Yeah.
Them bare asses all over the place.
Yeah.
That shit was wild. I remember, I took the kids there once, and the giraffe is licking the windshield and shit.
Yeah.
It's wild,
crazy,
man.
Right? So what else, Frank?
What do you got?
Franklin.
Go ahead. Check your notes, buddy.
That's what I was looking at. I make little notes.
That's good, man.
Oh, and we've talked about, your fight injuries. What is your worst injury outside of fighting or training or non-combat injury? You got any?
No.
I got a million, but you got any?
None.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Never hurt yourself outside? Never on the bike, on the...
No, never.
Wow, it's crazy. You think about all the injuries you've had, and not one of them has been outside of the realm of fighting.
Yeah, no, nothing.
That's crazy.
Nothing. I mean, I had concussions when I was a kid. Before fighting.
I've had a few.
Not even, not like just from roughhousing.
Ever been like knocked out?
Never.
Once I was. Well, actually, I guess you call this knocked out when. Oh yeah. But Marky Lee put me out for a couple seconds. That's cutting the blood supply off.
That's different.
Hitting my head and putting myself out once when I was a kid. I was across the street from the house I was talking about, Mill Street house, and I was in the woods. I spent so much time in the woods as a kid, but it was a really cold day, and I was out there by myself, and I was just like looking for rabbits, fucking whatever. Like I was a weird kid, I guess. But I started kind of like running down this sloped hill, and there's trees everywhere and stuff, and I'm all by myself. And I remember my feet just shooting out in front of me and my head smashed on the ice. And I went out, bro. I remember waking up and like laying there and being like, holy shit. I was, whether it was 5 seconds or 2 minutes, I don't know. No, but I had a huge knot. And I was young. I was maybe, 12 or something. I was a young kid. But I definitely went out for a little bit. But that's the only time I can really remember, I remember a girl. I remember her name and stuff. I always steer away from names, but we were in my dad's minivan, and I was probably maybe 19 years old, and there was a bunch of us in there because my dad's van could fit the most people, so it seems like we were always in that. And people were drinking. We had somebody sober driver. We're just riding around. This is like hillbilly backwoods shit that you do, riding around just drinking beers or whatever, and I had to pee, and we're on just some back road, no traffic, no cars, no nothing, and it was dark, it was nighttime, and I got out, the sliding door, I got out, and I was peeing like in a snowbank off this, but it was dark. Well, this girl in the van went to chuck this empty beer bottle out, like wung it out, and it nailed me right in the back of the head, and like started gushing blood immediately. It cut my head open. I remember the whole back of my shirt was just covered in blood, just painted.
That's funny. I remember we're me and my friend, we're young. We're 3.5 years younger than my cousin, his friends. But we're hanging out with my friends, and they were all breaking bottles, right? So we're breaking bottles. My buddy picks the bottle up, wings it, and hits the kid in the back of the head. Bro, blood everywhere. This kid goes, oh. Touches it, sees the blood, starts freaking out. I actually want to hear a crazy story. I don't know if it was my uncle, maybe he had a knife, and his buddy was playing with the knife, and someone was coming down the slope, sledding, was coming down the sled, got stabbed with a knife. They ended up going to the hospital. They gave the kid penicillin. He fucking died. No. Yeah. No way. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Crazy.
I know I didn't see it happen, but I was in there in Bamboo when I was, probably mid-20s. Someone broke a bottle and stabbed somebody in the face with it and like gashed their face really,
that happened
really
at Renee's
bad.
house.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Fight broke out. Some dude just got out of jail. Fucking took a bottle, boom, sliced some kid's face.
At Renee's house?
Yeah.
Was there like a party there?
Party, yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So the guy, did he go right back to jail?
I'm sure. I don't even know what happened.
That's nuts.
Scumbag.
That's nuts.
Yeah, the kid still's got a pretty good scar across his cheek.
Oh, you know him?
He's a friend of a friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. I was friends with this kid when I first moved to Jersey. No, I shouldn't say friends. Friends through a friend or whatever, but he had a huge scar on the side of his face, and It wasn't like a straight scar. It was just this
Jagged.
massive chainsaw, bro.
What?
Chainsaw.
Accident? He fall on it?
Accident. Yeah, he was cutting limb and a kickback or something.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the because it's not like, how do you even sew that up? Chainsaw just rips and pulls meat out, and you know what I mean. You could tell it wasn't like a normal scar. It just looked different, you know. It was like a big keloided scar on the side of his face.
Yeah.
But
Hamburger meat. That's rough.
All right, well, nothing interesting for injuries outside. My list goes on for days. Mostly dirt bikes and street bikes. I've broken pretty much fucking everything you can think of on that, but I think I've talked about it on the air. I was kind of interested if you'd ever had anything, because you're always getting busted up in the ring. But it's funny because I'll come over here. You know, I'm here once a week at least, and I always walk in, and when he's in fight camp, he's always got something. I'm like, who did that? He's always got like fucking, you know, like a raspberry over here or something going on.
That's what it is, bro.
You actually look pretty good today, pal.
Yeah,
I don't see any. I don't see any marks on you today.
I sparred today too. Good.
Did
head,
you?
Good
Good head movement today. Sweet.
You got to crack a couple eggs to make an omelet.
Speaking of fighting, I wanted your take on this. The beef between Street Jesus, Masvidal, and Colby Covington. Do you think that is real beef? Like they genuinely didn't like each other? Because obviously they were very close at one time.
They were roommates, I believe, at one time.
Yeah, roommates, training partners. Like there's lots of videos of them, like, you know, saying we'll never fight each other. Like there's lots of history there, and definitely was a genuine friendship. Do you think that their beef now is genuine, or do you think that they're good actors because they know it equivalates into the possibility of a super fight and a big payday?
I mean, I don't know. I can't say what I think. I think because like even Dustin Poirier's got beef with Colby's. Colby's ran his mouth, and I know Dustin. I know Dustin kind of personally. I mean, I know all these guys. I don't really know Colby at all, but I think Dustin was like, "Yo, I see him. It's on site." You know?
Really?
And I'm wondering. I think they had a falling out. Right. I do think they don't like. Do I think they'll fight if they see each other? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if anybody, you know. Right. But yeah, I do think it's genuine.
You don't think it's trumped up? You think it's genuine?
Yeah.
All right.
I could be wrong, but yeah.
Answers that.
I'd like to see that fight though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. That would
whenever
be
there's bad blood involved.
I'm excited for Usman Covington too. I mean, would you say that Covington gave Usman his best? I mean, obviously, Usman has a loss, right? But outside of the UFC many years ago, right?
Yeah.
So we won't even count that. The brother of another fighter, I forget who was it. Do you remember?
Alex Caceres.
Yes. But do you think Covington?
He just fought this weekend. Looked really good too.
Yeah, no shit. Do you think Covington was Usman's
best fight in the UFC? Yeah, I mean, you had to say that, right?
I think so, for sure.
It was close. I mean, even though Usman did finish him, right? Yep. Broke his jaw.
Well, yeah, I just saw an interview with Colby though where he says his jaw wasn't broken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see that X-ray that was going around with the broken jaw and it had Covington?
Yeah, it wasn't true.
Well, he's saying, have you ever seen an X-ray with somebody's name? First of all, he said, and he had a point. He's like, it's always spelled backwards in the fucking X-ray. He goes, somebody photoshopped my name underneath.
Maybe,
like,
you know.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Who knows if it was broken? It looked broken, but I don't know if it was or not.
I mean, he dedefinitely cried. I mean, yeah.
You've looked half dead before in one fight, so you can't really go by that, you know? So, crazy.
But I've broken my face 3 times.
Oh, bro, it's crazy.
3 times.
Face meaning nose or face meaning?
Orbital.
Orbital, just eye socket.
My nose is, actually the one time, I forget which fight it was, I went and got my face scanned because they always do that a lot of times just to make sure. And they're like, you should go see a plastic surgeon. Your nose is in pieces. And I'm like, my nose is fucking fine.
It works.
It's fucking great. I think it's just always in pieces.
Worst broken nose you've ever seen in the UFC. It's got to be. It's got to be between 2 different dudes. It's got to be Brandon Vera had a fucking horrible one.
Was that in the UFC?
Mike
or was
Perry.
That Mike Perry's was probably
Mike
nasty.
Perry's was nasty,
gnarly.
bro.
Yeah,
gnarly.
But mine, when I fought Bocek, I got hit with a punch, a jab, and literally hit just my nose.
Really?
Like I turned and I literally just hit just my nose, and I actually dropped for a second. I got right back up. Yeah. And my nose was on the other side of my face.
Really?
Yeah.
I was at that fight. I don't remember that.
That wasn't the first time I broke it. Yeah. I think I broke it in wrestling. I don't even know. I can't count how many times I broke my nose.
Wow.
I probably broke it in training plenty of times too.
Yeah. No, I never.
I went through a period where my nose bled every sparring session.
Oh, bro, I know. I mean, for me, of all the injuries I've ever seen you have, that one with the up kick from Benson Henderson,
that fucked me up.
That's the worst injury that I can remember seeing you in person, being like, bro, I don't know if I could be a fighter. I don't fucking know. But and you looked like, listen, I've seen you injured, I've seen you beat up, I've seen you in pain, hurting. You don't really show it much. You're not really a shower, but that you just looked fucking, bro. You were sweating. You were so fucking miserable. You know.
Yeah. Well, I had the packing in my nose.
Yeah. Well, you had what do they call that? Septic. You went septic, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, septic. I guess toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah. Right. Crazy. Don't chicks get that if they leave tampons in too long? Yeah. If you leave a tampon in too long.
That's pretty much what it is. I left a tampon
in
my
really?
face
Honestly, that's what you had up your nose. Those big fucking tampons.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
as soon as I took it out, my fever went away.
Blood, which can't flow, obviously gets backed up, gets stagnant, probably like...
It's like a staph infection.
Right. And then it probably coagulates, and then it probably starts to... I mean, I would imagine eventually you'd probably get fucking gangrene, right?
Dude, I was hallucinating on the way to the hospital.
Bro, that's crazy. And not in the good way. Not the mushroom way. Do you ever, when you have been in so much pain, you dabbled in something outside of medical prescription? Like you were so much pain, you just took a bunch of mushrooms, or no, never.
I've taken some like Percocets.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying that's prescribed. I'm saying something outside, some herbal.
I don't know if they were prescribed, but I got my hands on.
It shouldn't be hard in Tom's River. Yeah. You're lucky you didn't end up with meth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I never tried like that, you know. Something like I don't know. I think mushrooms is a happy thing. I don't think
I know, bro. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm safe doing mushrooms, right? I don't have to worry about a drug test with that, right? I've only done it my entire life twice.
I think it's like in your hair or something like that. Maybe.
Oh, really?
Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Psilocybin is the active ingredient, right?
I don't know if there's a test for it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust you though. You're the one down
here.
Well,
look it up.
You were the one about a week before Frazier was headed over to fucking Japan for.
Well, because our USADA rule is different than theirs, I guess. You know.
Frankie's like, hit this, and Todd's like, I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. I gotta fucking go over the Olympics. And then that girl got popped the next week for weed. Remember?
Yeah.
She was a gold medalist.
I don't get why. Oh, I guess different rules per. But USADA is USADA. I thought it was the same across the board. But
I don't know. I don't think we talked about it on the air. And sorry, I jump around a lot. Nick Diaz. How do you think he looked in his return? We did touch on it. You asked me, and I said I thought he looked good.
I just don't. I mean, I don't know.
He definitely looks like he missed a step, but bro, the dude was gone for 6 years. You know what I mean?
No, he was doing great. But to me, Nick Diaz can do that. All fucking 5 rounds.
Right.
You know, he couldn't do that.
Right.
That's why. True. And I don't think he got stopped. He kind of just was like, I don't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you see, because you never really can hear the guys in the octagon, but then, you know, after the fact, they'll slow it down. Did you hear what Robbie said? No, Robbie's just a good dude,
he's such a solid dude. He's one of my favorites, man.
Remember,
old school as fuck.
Even prior to this, when he fought... the wrestler, they got Ben Askren. They got him in that weird choke that apparently it wasn't sunk because he was.
But it looked like he was out.
Herbie did pick his arm up. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But you know, obviously he contested it right away. Jumped up, was a little heated, and then 30 seconds later, he's like, "Herb, you're all right, bro. You're the best, bro." Yeah. Robbie Lawler is a solid, straight up solid dude, man. I love that guy.
Absolutely. Old school as hell, man. Yeah.
And another guy, I'll never rip on him for his fighting style or whatever, and I think he's a phenomenal commentator. But you got a guy like Dominic Cruz that does the exact opposite of that. When he feels like a ref makes a bad call, says, fucking dude smells like booze and cigarettes. And, you know, like, I don't know that you have to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking Dominic. He's a phenom of a fighter.
Bro, that's one of my favorite referees.
He's probably even a better commentator.
It's one of my favorite
You said
referees.
That because he doesn't get involved. Right. I like that. I never thought of it that way until you said it. I like that. That if I was a fighter, probably would have to agree with that. You want the guy there for one thing, basically. To stop the fight if it's over.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't get involved.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's a good way to say it.
There's a lot of good referees though. I mean, that's a tough job, bro.
Yeah.
That's a tough job.
Yep.
There's some bad ones in it.
Yeah, for sure.
The judges, that's a different story.
But I feel like that's a tough business because Dana will massacre you if you're a bad ref. He will massacre you.
They're like the refs. I guess they get criticism from fans and stuff like that.
Sure.
But they're really. I give the refs a pass. That's a hard job.
Right.
But like judge, there's not held accountable. You could fuck up. You could make bad decisions all you want, and they don't get held accountable.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that is true.
And even a ref, say a ref fucks up really bad, what happens to him? Nothing.
Yep.
You know.
Another thing you said, I pay attention. You think I don't pay attention? I pay attention. Another thing you said one time, we were talking about just exactly what you said, and I said, well, Dana always says don't leave it up to the judges, and you said, well, then give me as many fucking rounds as it takes to finish the fight. That's a good point too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that of course, no, you don't want to leave it to the judges. Everyone wants to go there and finish. I mean, most people do. But bro, you're fighting the best guys in the world, two of the best guys in the world, bro. Go watch two of the best wrestlers in the world.
Right.
It's fucking boring sometimes.
Right,
You know, it's gonna be it's like the game inches. You know what I mean? It's like one little thing is gonna decide it.
Yep.
How you gonna say, imagine wrestling? Oh, you gotta go pin the guy. If you don't pin the guy, like what the fuck you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, in football, if you don't beat them by 20 points, you don't win.
Right.
No, you can beat them by a point, you win. It don't matter.
Speaking of a fight we were just talking about, Covington Usman, did you think Covington obviously contested that early stoppage? Did you think that was early stoppage? I thought it was a good stoppage.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good stoppage.
I thought it was good.
Thought he'd taken some serious punishment. He was giving it out too. I mean, it wasn't.
But he turned it on, man.
Right.
The Usman is.
He's a savage.
He's
bro.
gotten better too since.
Obviously, you're picking Usman to win.
Yeah, for sure. He's my guy, you know. But I mean, even he wasn't. He's gotten so much better since the Covington fight.
Yeah. Well, Covington too. I mean, Covington beat Tyrone. You know what I mean?
But Tyrone's kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not to knock him. I think he's a phenomenal athlete, great fighter.
Right.
But he's been on the tail end, right?
I think he lost focus a little bit. He was doing movies.
I'm sure.
So?
It's tough.
Wait, we were doing a movie. Were you and I too?
No, I know, but I mean, I'm doing a movie. It's shooting it in Tom's fucking River. You know what I mean? Come on.
I'm kidding.
No, actually, you know, I had an opportunity to do to be an extra, not like a real part, but to be an extra on Here Comes the Boom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
And I had to fly to L.A. I was in camp, and I said no. No.
Here's again. Roger jumps around like crazy, but you just said L.A. Chance to fly to L.A. My management must have seen the post that I did with the stem cell that I did on my hair. You know what I mean?
Stem cells?
I did stem cell was the last thing I did, but then I was also doing PRP.
Okay,
I did PRP like 4 times. And
you
the
said it
last
didn't
one,
work, right? Yeah.
I did that anti-age. It's called. Well, I mean, it's definitely not dramatic. That's for sure. Right. I don't want to knock it. It's not, but again, I have to give it time. You know, like it takes like 3 to 6 months or whatever. So I'm not even there yet. Yeah. But my management team must have seen that. You know, and they're Cali based. They're over on the West Coast. And the owner of the company, I deal with more her daughter than I do the owner. But the owner hit me up and was like, "Hey, Roger, do you want hair transplant?" You know, because there would have been no reason for her to ask me that unless she'd have seen my post. So I was like, "Oh, like what? Like Bosley?" She's like, "No, I have a great connection out here in Cali with a guy that does it. He'll probably comp it for you if you shout his business out or whatever. And I, free. If it's free, it's for me. Why not? I'd probably have to pay for airfare and lodging, but it would be covered. And I know that shit's expensive. Pedro, our barber, did it, and I think he said it was like 15 or 20 grand for him.
What?
Yeah, and he just did the front, like the widow's peak. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let me talk to the guy. So I'm thinking, my hair's not that bad. I know, they take it from the back or the sides, and I don't really care that I'm losing it a little bit here, and that doesn't bother me that much. And I'm not even, listen, if I got to shave my head, I got to shave my head one day, whatever. Like, fuck it. Life goes on. I'm a dad now. I don't really care about, I'm not as vain as I was at one time, but this balding spot on the top of my head bothers me much more than
no one can see it, bro. You're all right.
Right. Yeah, I'm 6'4". Nobody can see it. But I'm thinking, I'm a candidate for this. In my head, I'm like, do I want to fly to Cali? And I was like, let me just do the Zoom call with the guy, whatever. I did the Zoom call, and I remember him saying, I can't really see, it's hard to see in the Zoom or whatever. But he's like, send me some pictures. So I took a bunch of pictures, and I remember looking at him going, fuck, I look like I'm really losing my hair in these pictures. They look bad, like you could see. And I had 2 weeks of growth because I get my hair cut every 2 weeks. So I did it on the Thursday I was going to get my hair cut. Then I saw you there, actually. I took the pictures, and I remember looking at it like, holy shit, my hair looks really thin, right? But it could have been the camera light, the angle, whatever. And I sent it to him. He was really more concerned with the side because this is like they call it the donor area, And I'm taking pictures of the side, and I thought the side of my head was good. I don't, and the back of my head would be good. It's more the top and the front. So I'm like, I got plenty of the donor hair. And I remember sending him all these pictures. Then he asked for a couple more, and I sent them to him. And he wrote back, yeah, after looking at the pictures and stuff, it doesn't look like you're going to be a candidate. The donor area doesn't look strong enough. I was almost offended. I was almost like,
really?
Fuck you. No, he's a really nice guy.
Oh, wait, but like, you're 45, right?
46.
46.
Yeah.
And you think you're going to continue to lose your hair?
Probably.
How does that work?
Probably, yeah, probably.
Because like
I mean, listen,
I'm
I'm hopeful that the PRP and the stem cell
Yeah.
helps it regenerate a little bit, but I think he said, he's like, we do that too. That's about 10 to 20%, stimulus growth, new growth, things like that, but that's not like, it's not like hair, like pulling donor hairs and retransplanting. Right. He's like, that's like 80% effective. Most of those.
I'm definitely probably receding a little bit, but I still got it all the back though.
But the point was, I was like, I was a little hurt. I was like, fuck, what do you mean I'm not a candidate?
So you couldn't even do it if you wanted.
Well, my struggle was, would I, even if he said you're in, we can get you in December. Would I fly out there by myself? Obviously, it's just me now. By myself, stay in a hotel for at least a couple days, go get it done, and, probably be comped or whatever. But would I do that? I was like, it was a little bit of a, if he said you're a candidate, I probably would have done it. Because, it would have been covered for promotional plugs or whatever. And
promotional plugs.
Yeah. So I probably would have done it, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then he said no. He didn't say no. He was very nice about it. And I was like, damn, you motherfucker, I wanted to fly out there. It's crazy how what you're unsure about, if it goes the other way, you're a little butthurt about it.
I actually had a company, I think it was from Turkey, hit me up for that.
Oh, really?
And I looked at their page. You guys said I'm pretty good with my hair, I think.
No, you got good hair, bro. You're good.
And I don't really give a fuck that much, honestly. Right. But I have rock a shaved head half my life anyway.
You do, yeah.
But they shave. Like I seen people have done it. They have to shave their head bald, and then they do the stuff.
Oh, is that how they do it? Okay.
I'm like, damn, that's why I hate to do that.
Yeah.
But I seen some of it before.
I don't think this guy does that. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He had it done, and he had really thick hair. But I'm sure he's the face of it. So, But yeah.
Well,
so I sent it to
bro.
I sent it to my manager today. She's like, "What? I'll talk to him." So I don't know. Maybe
you
I'll
take it from your beard.
Maybe I don't know.
Can you do that? Think about that.
I don't. I think it's a different
type of hair.
I think it. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't your beard feel different? My beard feels scruffy and like whiskery. My hair on my head is really soft. So I don't know. I think it's like a different texture.
But your hair is not gray really at all.
You're not hairy, bro. I'm hairy. I don't know why. I always say it's from years of doing testosterone.
You say you're hairy, but I can't tell.
Well, because
your legs aren't. My legs are a lot hairier than yours.
But I manicure that. I buzz my legs probably every 5 or 6 months. I'll buzz them.
Look at my arms.
Yeah. Well, I shave my arms, but I buzz my legs.
That's gay.
But I'm losing hair where I want it. And I'm getting it where I don't want it. Bro, I fucking got ear hair now. You know what I mean?
I'm starting to get a little ear
It's
hair
crazy, bro. Hair will grow in that fucking ear of yours?
Yeah.
It's closed up.
Not on like the hard part.
Right. In it. Right?
In it, like on the outside.
Yeah, I got like a little buzzer now. Because I hate hair, so I'm on top of it all the time.
I got chest hair. I shave it though.
Would you ever consider laser hair removal?
No.
I've done it, bro. I've done it. So listen.
My wife has.
But most girls do. They're like bikini area, right? But nobody wants a big bush hanging outside of your bikini. But anyway, years ago, because I've always been relatively hairy, and I don't understand why. Because my dad's not a hairy guy at all. My dad's got like a few sprills of hair on his chest. My dad is not a hairy dude at all. But for whatever reason, I am. So years and years ago, I don't know, maybe my late 20s. I was like, fuck, there's got to be something done about that. So I started researching it, and there was electrolysis, which is kind of like the old way of doing it, and then there's laser hair removal, which is like the new school way, right? So this is probably like my late 20s. I had a consultation. I went to Wall Township. I met with this lady, super nice lady, and that's all they did. They specialize in it. She's like, oh, you have like coarse black hair. You're like perfect. Talk me right into it, right? And I was like, well, how much, And I was just, I was just a truck driver this time. I'm not making crazy money or whatever. She's like, well, we could do your chest, your back, I guess it was just chest, back, shoulders, right? And I don't have like a lot of hair on my back, but a little bit. You know, you wouldn't even know it because I trim it all the time. But
how do you trim your back hair?
Manscaper, bro. You kidding me?
Oh, it's
bro. It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I have no back hair.
Yeah,
I got some on my shoulder.
I never did until I got older. But I mean, you'd never see it. But anyway, long story short, she talked me into it, and then we're talking price, right? And she's like, "Oh, you know, you do your chest, you do your back. I'll take a little off." So I'm like, "Okay."
Your grundle, grundle,
bro. It was like $1,200 a session, and at the time, they kind of like tell you need 3 or 4, but it could be up to 6 to 7, depending on how you respond. Bro, I did like 6 sessions at $1,200 a whack, and it didn't do shit.
What?
Nothing. Nothing, bro. They got me.
You.
Got me for like, I put it on a credit card too. They got me for like $8,000. I was paying that shit off for years.
Wow.
Pissed me off, yeah.
You should call them and fuck it out.
No, that was, bro, I'm 46 now. That was like my late 20s.
Wow.
So fast forward, I obviously meet my ex, and she has a lot of connections with plastic surgeons and things like that. And I'm not saying, don't take that out of context. People will be like, Roger says that, you know, his ex had plastic surgery. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying she had ins with doctors because of who she was. And we went to one in New York, a very reputable, very well-known one, and he had this brand new laser hair removal machine. It was supposed to be like, the thing was like, you know, $300,000. It was like the fucking Lamborghini. And they offered the service for free. I was like, free? For me. Sign me up. I did it again, bro. Did it again. Did the chest, did the shoulders. Nothing. Didn't fuck with. Listen, maybe is it not as thick? I'm not even sure about that. Maybe, but the fucking pain and the fucking blisters that you get and everything from doing it, I would never recommend it to anybody.
Yeah,
ever.
Never. I'm good, dude.
Never. Yeah. I don't like hair, bro. I'm just not a fan of hair. I don't like hair, you know. And unfortunately, you know, I guess my mom was Chewbacca or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck really. Too much.
I mean, I guess, like I said, I give a fuck less.
I mean, I do.
My main focus in life now is being a dad, and that's really mostly what I care about. Do I still have some vanity issues? Of course, I think we all do to some degree, but I don't give a fuck. Would I do laser hair removal now? No fucking way. No fucking way.
You learn your lesson, I guess.
Yeah. But I learned. I spent a solid $7 or $8 on it, and it didn't do anything. Nothing. You know. So, and I remember her saying, because they take, like, when you're done, they put this gel on you. They do it, like, because it's fucking hot, bro. It gets, like, super hot. It zaps and it burns and it hurts, bro. It fucking hurts.
And, like, how long does it take to recover from that?
Well, your chest is, like, super red and you have these, like, burnt hairs on your chest for probably, like, a week before it sort of gets back to normal. You know what I mean? But I did, like I said, I probably did 6 sessions over there. You know, I probably went back every couple weeks or something like that and did another session. And I remember thinking, it's going to work. This is the one. You know, this is the one. It's going to work, guys. She told me, you know, like 5 or 6 sessions. I'm on number 6. Another $1,200. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be hairless after this. No, it didn't fucking work at all.
You think women like hair or don't like hair?
Do I think women like hairy guys? I think when my mom was like younger, like hairy chest. I mean, think about it. Burt Reynolds, Magnum PI with hair. That was like sexy to women. Now, no, I don't think women like hair.
I don't know. Renee's like, stop shaving your chest. So
really?
Like, I honestly, I don't shave my chest unless I have a fight. Then I shave my chest.
Why more aerodynamic?
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not gonna because I've been fucking fighting 16 years. I'm gonna come out with a hairy chest out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's 40. Got a hairy chest.
You've been fighting for 16 years and you came out with a perm for one.
Yeah,
so, come on.
Fucking perm.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, you would look. Remember, Kimbo used to shave half his chest.
Yeah,
it was so weird.
He'd shave like.
And then there was a dude that fought. I don't know what his name was, but he shaved an arrow.
Yeah,
like,
Dennis Hallman.
Yeah.
He would wear little party boy shorts. That's when Dana fucking banned
yes,
banned
that's right.
Shorts.
Yeah. He claimed he lost a bet and he had to do that, but he also lost that fight.
Yeah.
Like if he'd have won the fight, maybe you could have got away with it if you looked like really good fashion.
That,
but yeah.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah, women. In my opinion, no woman I've ever met likes hair. So I'm going to continue to manscape the shit out myself.
That's because you're fucking dating little young girls. That's why.
No,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
My chick looks young, but she's 30. Well, she's almost 33. So
It's young. It's
younger for me,
you.
but that's not really young.
Jeez, think about it. When you were 18,
you should. I need to have Renee.
she was
talk
5.
to her. She would. Yeah. Well, if you look at it like that, it's disgusting. But I feel like once you get past the age of like 25, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, a 25-year-old can date a fucking 70-year-old if she wants. You know, is it weird? Yeah, but it's not like fucking pedophilia.
I'm sure you can let us know.
I don't know if you want to talk about this or not. You don't have to. I don't know if it's, I don't want to put Renee's business out there, but my girl's talking about getting implants, like the possibility of doing it. Renee had implants and took them out, correct? For
put
health?
them back in.
Oh, put them back in.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like they say every 10 or 12 years you're supposed to do that? Is that why?
Yeah.
I thought it was because she was having health side effects.
Yeah, she did take him out for a little bit to
okay.
see, but she didn't help nothing.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I never knew she put them back in. Well, that's good. That means I'm not staring at your girl's boobs. That's a good thing.
Look at that.
Solid friend over here.
Nice. Thanks, Bob.
Because I really never knew she put
So
them
what,
back.
now Danielle wants to take him out?
No, she doesn't have him.
Oh, she doesn't have him.
No.
She doesn't want to get him.
She's like, and I never thought she would say that, I was like, I didn't.
She wants to get him?
I mean, she's got, Christ, her parents
Right,
probably listen to this,
right.
but, she's fine.
Right,
She's
right.
fine.
Doesn't need him.
Doesn't need him,
yeah.
in my opinion. And I'm not encouraging her to get him, but.
I'm not even a boob guy. You know what I mean?
Really? You're a butt guy?
Yeah, give me that ass.
Yeah, all day,
That's
really?
it.
How long you been with Renee?
21 years.
Have you ever, in 21 years, heard Renee fart?
No.
Never. In 21 years. That's pretty fucking amazing, bro.
No.
Pretty amazing. I will say I never heard my ex fart ever.
She's heard me fart. I'll tell you that.
Bro. I fart all the time. And we were at dinner last night, and I was like, I must have picked up a cheek, and she's like, "Are you farting?" And we were in a really nice place. I was like, "No," and I was.
That's great.
Yeah, no, I've never heard. My ex never heard her fart. Although one time we were in Vegas. Oh God, I guess sometimes I hesitate to say things, but fuck it, it's my life. I'm allowed to talk about my life.
Go.
We were in Vegas, and she was in the bathroom, and she came out, and she said, "No, I'm sorry, we weren't in Vegas. We were in California." And she went in the bathroom. She was pregnant at the time with Milani, and came out of the bathroom and said, "The toilet's plugged," And we were actually filming a TV show at the time. And she's like, I don't want to fucking, ask anybody, can you go in there? I was hoping that it was toilet paper, but I had to open it up, and it was not. It was pretty disturbing.
Oh, well, what the fuck, bro? What do you think?
I did.
What do you think, bro?
I did what a husband had to do.
Come on.
And I unclogged it.
There you go.
But
Like
no,
a man,
I've never heard. I don't think that I've ever heard. Oh, here's a funny story. I don't think I've ever heard a girl that I've been with fart, but I remember working at Hemingway's. Why can't I think of his name? He trains under Tom DeBlas too, huge guy. And he trained with us a couple times too. But anyway, I can't think of his name. But he used to bounce with me. Sorry. And we had to kick everybody out at the end of the night. It was like 4:00 in the morning. This is back when Seaside was raging till 4. Back when I was bouncing, and Seaside was nuts. And we had to kick everybody out of the bathrooms and stuff. He had to clear both bathrooms. We're standing by the bathrooms to make sure nobody goes back in. And this girl, cute, I remember she was cute, comes running up. She's like, I gotta use the bathroom. I'm like, sorry, it's closed. She's like, I gotta shit really bad. And I was just like, did she just fucking say that?
Did you let her go?
Yeah, we let her go.
You got to. You got to go. You got to go.
Yep. Yeah, but never heard a girl talk like that, really.
They're out there.
They are out there.
And they all shit.
I know. But I prefer not to know about it.
Yeah.
Or hear about it.
Yeah.
That's how I would like to continue to live life.
So you have the matches in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck, man.
All right, Effie. Listen, another good episode. Appreciate you, brother. Can't wait.
We're gonna have a little break
downtime.
here.
Yeah. You're leaving when?
I'll leave Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday morning, though, to head up to the Big Apple.
All right, and you'll be back Sunday.
Back maybe Saturday night.
Maybe. Celebrate.
Yeah.
Bringing that W home to baby.
I'll be able to. I'm the first. No, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I'll be the first. I'm the first fight in the main card.
Okay.
So I'll be fighting around 10 o'clock. I probably could, if I wanted to, be home and watch the main event on my TV.
That's insane.
I probably could, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Who's on that card? Obviously, Usman.
And
that's the
Covington.
Yeah.
Rose Namajunas and Wally Zhang.
Oh,
Wally Zhang.
They're running it back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
And then,
Who are you picking on that one? Got to go with Rose again, right?
I'll go with Rose.
Although she's one of the toughest, the Chinese, I forget her name.
Is it Zhang Wali?
Yes,
Wali Zhang?
yeah, it's a tough name. But she's
Wei Li Zhang.
Wei Li Zhang, yeah. She
And
is
then,
a tough chick.
And then Gaethje and Chandler, which is fucking another phenomenal fight.
Yep.
And then I the other main card fight, I don't remember who it was.
It's a stacked card, bro.
Yeah, very good card.
We're going out for it. We were gonna have it in my backyard, and but we're gonna go out.
And it's kind of wild. Usually when I'm in New York, a bunch of my teammates are fighting in New York, and it's literally just me. So
really,
it's kind of cool too.
That is cool. Very cool.
But New York's Garden, most famous arena, right? World's most famous arena.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Ali Frazier.
Yeah. And this is your second time there?
Second time there. I was there. I think this is the third time they've been there.
Yeah.
They were there in 16.
Well, for the longest time they struggled with sanctioning. In New York,
so I was there I fought in the first fight
right.
that was allowed there. Yeah, in 2016. So it's 5 years almost to the day. I think it was November 2nd that time, so November 6th. So 5 years.
Wow.
5 years to the day.
Wow. Well, we'll be rooting for you, buddy. All your fan base. You got an amazing fan base. Obviously, Renee's going, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'll be. I wish I could be there, but I will be watching, and I'll be screaming at the TV, and I can't wait to bring that W home.
Yeah,
brother.
Sir, man. I can't wait to get in there, and it's been a while, man. It's been. Shit.
I get a workout for your fights. I'm doing this the whole time, like the whole time I'm doing that, man.
Well,
I don't do that for anybody else.
like I do every time, man. I fucking train to the max, like I always do, and I'm 100% ready. So
absolutely,
I
love it.
Get these LBs off,
Let's
and we're showtime, baby.
Let's go.
All right, kid.
Let's go.
Peace.